One of the first things I take time to explore when I arrive at a destination, the museum. And this one, she is magnificent, both outside and in. And I'm going to show you why it's getting such rave reviews from visitors, both local and tourists. The Museum of Geraldton celebrates the rich history of the region's land, sea and people, and poses a few questions for visitors. Like, how did that huge replica Bristol tour biplane make it through that front door? Enter the knowledgeable Lee O'Brien, connector of visitors to the stories of this region.
Have you figured it out yet?
No, I haven't.
People always ask us, how did we get this biplane into the museum? It was the first object to be installed when the museum was first built. It came in pieces. The roof was designed to hold the weight of the plane.
So what's the significance of the plane?
The first scheduled air flight in Australia was actually from Geraldton to Derby in 1921. 3 of these Bristol tour biplanes took off from Geraldton. One crashed north of Kalbarri.
With Lee volunteering to act as our unofficial tour guide for the morning, it's time to investigate beyond the entry.
We have this magnificent slump glass artwork which depicts Yamatji country, the 3 main rivers of the region, people's campsites, walking across country and the bush foods available.
So Lee, what hooked most people to come in here?
I'd say the maritime history of this region, the Dutch shipwrecks off this coast. It's the first known European contact with Australia. There's the VOC wrecks off this coast, including the Batavia, so we have the fantastic shipwrecks gallery. And then we also feature the stories of the HMAS Sydney and HSK Cornwall from World War II in our display From Great Depths, which has a 3D film that we play all day. And Geraldton is the home of the HMAS Sydney Memorial.
It's not just amazing stories that are eye-openers. The way the museum presents them really grabs your attention. Welcome to the treasures of the Batavia.
And in here, Chrissy, is an amazing object, which was the reason why the museum was built, to house this sandstone portico. The blocks were the ballast in the Batavia. The ship was carrying these building materials out to the East Indies, and when the ship wrecked out at the Abrolhos Islands, these sandstone blocks scattered across the reef, and then 300 odd years later, when maritime archaeologists raised this material, it was like a giant jigsaw puzzle, and they worked out it was meant to be a gateway to the VOC's headquarters in then known as Batavia, now known as Jakarta. That building no longer exists, and yet we have this incredible sandstone gateway that survived because it was wrecked out at the Abrolhos Islands.
And then there are the smaller treasures, salvaged from the myriad of shipwrecks. Some you would never have expected to have survived 300 years at the bottom of the ocean. One last treasure, the original Fresnel lens from the Geraldton Point Moor Lighthouse, built in 1878, the tallest metal lighthouse in Australia. Is that broken, those bits of where the metal is?
No, these are blanks which actually make this light flash twice every 10 seconds. So every lighthouse has its own signature flash, and the mariners would know that that was Geraldton because it was 2 flashes every 10 seconds.
No, Lee, I did not know that. You should also know that entry to this museum is free. There is a free guided tour at 11:30 a.m. every day, and they have magnificent travelling exhibitions that change quite regularly. And this gift shop behind me, it is full of local treasures. This is seaweed from the Abrolhos Island. Good thing it was free to get in here.